Moving on to other local stories in your primetime news bulletin, the proposals made in the interim report on the new constitution was debated in Parliament for its second day today.
The general public has clearly expressed their views on a new constitution. The best proposals were made by the 7 provincial chief ministers of the southern half of the country. They are members of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party.
මගේ ප්‍රශ්නෙට මම ඔබතුමාලාට ඉන්ටරප්ට් කරන්න මම කතාව ඉවරලා වෙලාව තිබ්බොත් මම උත්තර දෙන්න. No, I am not. අවුරුදු 30
They have had a 30-year experience. They are not against national policies, but they only wanted to be involved in the process of formulating national policies at provincial councils. But they urged for the powers of the provincial council not to be retaken under the guise of formulating national policies.
වාඩි වෙන්න කරුණා කරලා ඔබතුමා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ගිනි තියන්නත් කිව්වා කතා කිරීමේ අයිතියක් තියෙනවා කතා නැහැ තමයි වාඩි වෙන්න
නීති හැදීමේ බලය පළාත් සභා විෂයන් පිළිබඳ නීති හැදීමේ බලය එසේම පවතිනවා ඉතාමත්ම පැහැදිලි එහි කිසිම වෙනසක් නැහැ දැන් මේ යෝජනාවක්
A proposal has just come into Parliament. This is not the constitution. It is just an interim report compiled by the steering committee. Therefore, it is difficult for us to understand as to why there are objections to this. When the 13th Amendment was brought to Parliament, when provincial councils were established in 1987, it was said the country was being divided. The question we ask is, did the country actually get divided? Constitutions cannot be made with just being limited to words. There is no hidden agenda to this. Talk surrounding the draft has already become a Trojan horse. A Trojan horse is a destruction in disguise. So do not push this to that point. MP Dullas Alahapperuma, who questions if the country actually needs a new constitution, is the same person who was an active member of the White Lotus movement in 1995 and went around the country from village to village saying the country needs a new constitution. I will give you just one piece of advice. You have done your politics for 20 years with smooth words, but I request you not to use smooth words to run away from an issue concerning this era. I think MP Vimal Veerawangsa was the only MP who rejected the Constitutional Assembly. But the same person who rejected the Constitutional Assembly was seen at his canteen today eating the Constitutional Assembly's food. Back then, it was MP Dullas and I, as well as Minister Mangala Samaravira, who travelled across the country with the White Lotus movement for a united country which does not have the word unitary nor the clause on Buddhism which exists today. But today, this document contains the word unitary and the clause on Buddhism. The TNA today has expressed their consent to the word unitary. Include the word unitary in Sinhalese, Tamil and English. Is it not good? Let's come to a common ground to a certain extent. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party likes to devolve power. They like to devolve power more only increase because of people who carry out bombings. If we are doing politics and if they are calling for this place to be bombed, we have to defeat their ideals. Even though the war ended, we have not identified and found solutions for the true reasons for the war to be created in the first place. Decisions were taken by inciting racism for the sake of power. MP Douglas Devananda, who is seated to my right, is a person who was pushed to the point of taking up arms in 1972. These were the laws put in place back then. There were factors driven to these issues. Immediate measures have to be taken to rectify the mistakes committed in the past.